Kelly here, Kelly's Soroka Life, and welcome to February. So this month I am working with in my 4x4 practice where I choose 4 magical items to study for the month. I am working with these 4 things. So the crystal that we're going to talk about today is Sardonyx. And then the herb that I'm working with is mugwort. So sometime next week, I'll have a video on mugwort. And then the deck that I'm studying is the Blood Moon Tarot. And the book that I'm reading is Mary Magdalene Revealed. So those are my four by four items that I am studying and working with and using this month. And so far, for the first few days of the month, and for when I will work with the rest of the month, but I like to do the crystal first so that I find out about the crystal so I'll know what it's really good for to use during the rest of the month. Now, like I said, the crystal that I'm using is Sardonyx, and you can see this is a piece of sardonyx, and I have a lot of these little pieces of sardonyx, kind of all around my house. And it's not, it's not a very sparkly crystal. It's not very it's not one that you look at and you think, "Ooh, that is just gorgeous." And or to me at least, it's just there. It's just really nice, and it's one that I seem to be drawn to because I do have some pieces of it in different places in my house. And when I found out more about it, and this was one of the reasons that I really wanted to do this practice, and I started it last year, is because I have these that, for some reason I picked up and I have in my collection. But I haven't, I maybe have read a little bit about it. There might have been like a little blurb at the crystal store that tells about it. And I thought, that's really cool, or it looks really neat. And so I would pick it up, but it was not there's some that I did study and did really look into when I got them, or I got them because I had studied it and I knew that it was one that I wanted to work with. And then there's these others that I think, I really want to know more about that, or that crystal, and I really want to know more about these other things as well. And so that's how this practice came about. And so sardonyx is one of those that is like this that I had, and I never knew really all about it. And when I then started reading about it, it was really fascinating. And I really just said, this is a really cool little crystal. So now this stone, it is a mix of onyx, which is if you're familiar with crystals at all, onyx is like a black stone, very grounding, very, very protective. And then carnelian, which is one of my very favorite stones. And I do know a lot about that one. But carnelian, and it mixes these two together. And carnelian is a crystal that is very creative, and very taps into your courage and your strength. And so together, this crystal really gives you a stable base for you to reach your highest goals. So it's great if you are feeling like a lack of creativity, or you feel like that you need some strength to get through something or to reach a goal. It's really, really good for that. And then I thought this was very fascinating, is that this crystal is great to use in relationships, any kind of relationships. And so it brings integrity, virtue, and fidelity to marriages, partnerships, friendships, parent-child connections, any kind of partnership or friendship or relationship that you have. This is a great stone for you to use. And we're going to do just a little ritual with sardonyx at the end for improving relationships. So, and it's a great one to use also in the workplace with coworkers and people you have relationships with in your workplace, because it promotes honesty and hard work. So it's a beautiful crystal to use in those places. Now, in ancient times, the ancient Romans and other civilizations, you'll even find this one of the crystals that's mentioned in the Bible. So, you know, the ancient Romans, particularly though, really valued sardonyx as a protective stone, particularly when they were going into war. And so it was something that they wanted to have with them as a protective stone in that. And so it honors the god Mars, the god of war. And so call on this energy when you want to feel protected and you want to feel strong and you feel like there's something that, not literally, but maybe metaphorically or emotionally, you feel like that you're being attacked, or you're being, just under these, uh, under just, well, yeah, just like you need to be defensive. And so and sometimes we need that, sometimes we need defensive and sometimes we need protection. And so this is a really good one to do that. And it's a really good one to put around your house if you want protection stones around your house. And then it can be a very potent guardian around your home. So all in all, that seems like, just looking, especially, for me, just looking at it, it seems just a very unassuming crystal, but it packs a big punch. And so it's really a good one to call on. And if you want something that's protective and but yet has very strong as well, it has a lot of strength in it as well, this is a good one to do. And again, with any of these stones that we work with, if you want to add the stone to your collection or to your altar or to the way that you work with it, it's great. It's one that I think it's fairly easy to get. But you can also call in the energy. You can find a picture online. I always include a picture on the Book of Shadows pages, that the downloadable PDFs that I have. So you can use that and pull up the picture of it and use that. You can use an oracle card. You can use a crystal, like a crystal that you have, like a clear quartz crystal maybe, or something, or selenite that you have that can stand in for this stone. Or you can just call on its energy. And I'm sure this stone would be glad to be, to be protective with you, for you, in any place that you would want it to go. So if you have this crystal or you want to call on its energy to improve a relationship, we're going to do just a short little ritual for it. And this is one that you can do and do it for different people. It doesn't have to be just one person. So and again, you can repeat this for different people, but when you want to use sardonyx to improve a relationship, and again, this is going to be on the PDF that I provide, and you can find the link down in the description box below and find the link there to all of this information for you. So when you want to improve a relationship using sardonyx, bring to mind someone with whom you would like to improve your relationship. And then you can hold the sardonyx to your heart, where our love and our connection to other people lies. And say, sardonyx, you know who I love. Bring me guidance from above, so that this bond may go stronger, more connected, valued, and longer. So may it be. So then you can put the crystal on your altar, while the bonds of the relationship grow and flourish. And then I put a little optional thing. If you want to do this, you can journal with the energy of Sardonyx about why you cherish this relationship. And so it really just kind of helps you bring in that gratitude. Why are you grateful for this person? And, how would you like to improve this relationship? And you can even do it for yourself. You can do this as a self-care activity or self-care ritual where you bring in that unconditional love for yourself, because sometimes we're hard on ourselves, and it's good to improve our relationship with ourselves. But again, this works in any kind of relationship. You could use it with your pet, you could use it with your neighbor, you could use it with the earth, with Mother Nature. We could use it with a deity that you're working with. So anything that you want to improve a relationship with, it's very open, it's very flexible, and again, you can do it with different people and at different times. But I thought this was just a great way to, especially, we have February is the month of Valentine's Day here in the United States. And a lot of times we, are kind of bombarded with, relationships and love and all of that during this time period. And you walk into any store and there's, hearts and chocolate and candy and flowers and things like that. And this sort of nights can kind of protect you from that. And you can bring in just as much as you want to bring in for this time. And you can really focus on the things and the relationships that are important to you. And that can be, again, any kind of relationship that's important to you, including yourself. So thank you for being here today with my first video in the February 4x4 that I'm working with. All the things that I'm working with this month. Sardonyx is the crystal, Mugwort is the herb, the Blood Moon Tarot is the tarot deck, and the book is Mary Magdalene Revealed. And I'll have links to all of those things as well. So if there's any of those that you want to purchase as well, or to find out more about, then you can do that. And next week when I do Mugwort, I'll have a downloadable PDF for you for that as well. So make sure like and subscribe so that you can get notifications when the next videos come out. And I will see you again very soon.